Over crest 50, 8 right into crest.
Snow, ice, gravel, mud, slush. Unpredictable weather conditions and high-octane drama. These were the words that defined the 2025 Novus Automotive Rally of the Tall Pines. Welcome to the legendary Rally of the Tall Pines, a cornerstone of the Canadian Rally Championship. This year, the event celebrated its 54th edition, proudly organized by Maple Leaf Rally Club under the title Sponsorship of Novus Automotive. Once again, the rally echoed through the charming streets and forested roads of Bancroft, Ontario, a town that has hosted this iconic event for 28 unforgettable years. The Rally of the Tall Pines has grown far beyond Canadian borders. Drivers from across North America and Europe, including the United States, Mexico, and France, traveled to compete, bringing international flair and fierce competition to the event. A total of 29 teams took on the challenge, each ready to tackle whatever the unpredictable Canadian winter could throw at them. This year's rally awards crucial points for the Canadian Rally Championship, the Eastern Canadian Rally Championship, and the Ontario Performance Rally Championship, with each series featuring tight fights for the top spots. And the Stellantis Motorsport Rally Cup officially made its debut in North America. The challenge kicked off its first point-scoring round at the Rally of the Tall Pines. Early competitors began collecting 2026 championship points during the event. The fight for the 2026 title started here at Tall Pines. Over 16 stages, drivers battled for every second. The Canadian Rally Championship contenders tackled 170 kilometers of high-speed, treacherous special stages, while the regional Ontario Performance Rally Championship drivers fought for points across the first 10 stages, covering a total of 117 kilometers. Every corner, jump, and icy bend tested skill, courage, and teamwork. At the heart of the rally, the Dungannon Recreation Centre in La Marble served as the epicenter of activity. Rally headquarters, the service park, the start and finish controls, and Parc Fermé all came together here, making it the nerve center of the event and the gathering point for drivers, teams, and fans alike. Behind the scenes, lots of staff and volunteers worked tirelessly to bring the rally to life. Journalists, media crews, and social media creators captured every thrilling moment, sharing hundreds of posts before, during, and after the event. The rally's growing popularity was clear, and the buzz surrounding it spread far beyond Ontario. As the countdown to the first stage ticked away, preparations at rally headquarters were in full swing. We caught up with the rally coordinator, Bruce Leonard, to get the latest updates on the final arrangements.
Tall Pines here now in Bancroft for the 28th year. It's been such a great group of people working on this for a long time. It takes a lot to put this rally together. Many hours of work. We're here. The town has been fantastic to help us. And the weather, of course, at Tall Pines is variable, as we have seen already today. Who knows what tomorrow is going to bring? I haven't had a quick look at the forecast yet. But we're always usually icy in the morning, so that's going to make it interesting for the crews. And it warms and gets muddy and then freezes again in the afternoon. So yeah, it's always a challenge. tire choice is going to be absolutely crucial here. So yeah, that's where we're at the moment.
While the competitors spent Friday meticulously on recce, mapping out every corner, crest and braking point, the service crews and mechanics were hard at work, preparing the service area and performing final checks on the rally cars. Fans of the sport also flocked to the service park, eager for a close-up look at the machines before they hit the stages. The residents of Bancroft, along with visitors drawn by the thrill of rallying, were first treated to the roar of high-performance engines during the Shakedown. Held ahead of the official start, the Shakedown provided teams with a final opportunity to fine-tune setups, while giving drivers, marshals and spectators a thrilling preview of what was to come. Rally fans lined the spectator points along the Shakedown stage, braving freezing temperatures and complete darkness, all in pursuit of the adrenaline and drama that only rallying can deliver. Now, let's take a seat inside the Subaru Impreza of Jonathan Drake and co-driver Ian Lance as they navigate the Shakedown stage with precision and speed. The Shakedown also threw in a moment of unexpected drama. Simon Baumann, behind the wheel of his Mitsubishi Lancer, pushed hard during his run, only for the hood to unexpectedly pop open mid-stage. In a stroke of luck, Baumann managed to maintain control, avoiding damage to the windshield and continuing the stage, much to the relief of his team. The true excitement of the rally kicked off on Saturday morning with the official start at the Dungannon Recreation Centre. Rally fans packed the area, and the atmosphere was electric, anticipation and passion radiating from both the competitors and the crowd. Among the drivers aiming for maximum points and a podium finish in the Canadian Rally Championship, Ricardo Cordero and Simon Vansan immediately caught the eye, their focus and determination clear as they prepared to tackle the challenging stages ahead.
As it's a very difficult rally, I think the first thing to do is finish the rally. I think the most important thing would not be who's the fastest, but who's the smartest. So for us, driving on snow and ice is really, really difficult, so we cannot train in Mexico, so we're gonna have a really good time here.
I know the roads. It's been a couple of years since I've been here, but we did a lot of video prior to the rally. Good recce yesterday, and you know, our way to win rallies is consistency, and this is a rally for us. It suits our way of rallying.
All right, this is Jonathan Drake and Ian Lance in the Novus Subaru. Jonathan, you're a veteran here. You're one of the local heroes. How's it going to go today?
It's going to be a tricky event, but it'll be all about tires and driving smooth as fast today.
The start platform always brings its share of drama. Réjean Perron, descending the ramp, briefly slipped off the edge, but in true rally style, he recovered instantly and continued without missing a beat. Karianne Huber, backed by a host of sponsors, demonstrated the strong support that brands bring to the sport, a reminder of how professional rallying blends skill, teamwork, and partnerships.
For Marc-Andre Brisebois, and they came with an entire championship more than once.
And then there was the Subaru Impreza of Jérémy Thibault and Justin Thibault. With its vibrant pink-orange livery, it turned heads and drew cheers from the crowd, a visual standout that matched the intensity and flair of the competition itself. And now we move on to the heart of the rally, the real action and adrenaline on the stages. Snow, ice, gravel, mud, slush, and treacherous ice patches across the roads made tyre choice absolutely critical. Some stages demanded specialized ice tyres, while the ever-changing conditions on others forced drivers into bold, risky decisions. The competition kicked off with Stage 1, Bowers Trail, a 5.3-kilometer test largely blanketed in snow and ice. With its climbs, descents, fast-flowing corners, and long straights, Bowers Trail immediately proved to be one of the most demanding stages of the rally. Many crews opted for a cautious, controlled pace, knowing that even a small mistake could cost precious seconds. Let's ride along on the Bowers Trail stage through the bumper camera of Vincent Trudel and co-driver Michelle Miller in their Subaru Impreza, navigating each turn with precision and confidence. But it was Simon Vanson and Hubert Gaudreau who stole the headlines. Winners of the previous Canadian Rally Championship round at Rallye de Charlevoix, the duo once again piloted a Subaru Impreza to perfection, clocking an impressive 3 minutes and 22 seconds. Their pace left the competition reeling, finishing 17.1 seconds ahead of their closest rival, Ricardo Cordero, on the very first stage.
Droite 4 plus tenir uphill, 120, droite 4 plus tenir uphill, 120. Et un gauche 5 short 50, ça bat ton gauche 5 short 50. Et un gauche 4 minus small cut, et tout droite 5 plus, gauche 4.
Not every team got off to a smooth start, however. Mark Tufanov and David Bell, behind the wheel of a rear-wheel drive Toyota GT86, were immediately challenged by technical issues. Electrical and battery problems cost them a staggering 5 minutes on Stage 1, a tough and frustrating start to their rally campaign. Stage 2, Old Detlaw, brought the intensity up another notch, and the excitement on the stages continued to soar. Known for featuring nearly every type of surface Tall Pines has to offer, Old Detlaw challenged crews with a mix of snow, ice, gravel, mud, and slush. Precision, pace, and nerves of steel were essential to navigate this demanding test. Simon Vanson once again set the benchmark, posting the fastest time on the stage. Hot on his heels, the Mexican duo Ricardo Cordero and Marco Hernandez in their Citroën C3 Rally 2 raised the tempo, securing the second fastest time. Jonathan Drake and Ian Lance, behind the wheel of their Subaru Impreza, responded with a strong pace of their own, claiming third place on Old Detlaw. Adding more spice to the competition, Vincent Lalande and Leah Brise demonstrated that two-wheel drive machines could still challenge the four-wheel drive giants. Piloting their Peugeot 208 Rally 4, they posted an impressive fourth fastest time, underlining their ambition in both the North American Rally Cup and the overall classification. But as the pace climbed, the margin for error shrank, and mistakes began to appear. Jeremy Drake and Derek Jackson thrilled the spectators with daring Scandinavian flicks through Detlaw Crossing, showcasing spectacular car control and flair, only to slide off near the end of the stage. Rushan Perron and Layla Zigbee, in their Mitsubishi Lancer, also fell victim to the treacherous conditions. On a narrow, off-camber left-hander coated in ice, they slid off the road, a stark reminder that old debt law spares no one. With temperatures climbing slightly and the surface softening to reveal more gravel, the competition intensified on Stage 3, Upper Old Hastings. The pace was climbing rapidly as drivers pushed their limits, chasing every split second. After the close battle of the first two stages between Simon Vansan, Ricardo Cordero and Jonathan Drake, Stage 3 saw new challengers step into the fray. Trevor Pugnet and Vincent Trudel added their pace to the fight, while Sebastien Clark and Patrick Levesque, behind the wheel of their Ford Fiesta Proto, closely shadowed the leading group, keeping the pressure high. Stage 3 also highlighted some rising stars. Cousins Charles Lestage and Juliette Lestage, piloting a Ford Fiesta R2, delivered a courageous performance. Driving like true bravehearts, they battled within the top 6, setting the 7th fastest time and proving their surprising potential on the rally stages. Not every crew had smooth sailing, however. The young duo Simon Baumann and Aidan von Cannon in their Mitsubishi Lancer were struck by brake issues, losing significant time and being forced to retire from the rally on this stage. After repairs, they rejoined later under Super Rally rules, determined to make up for lost ground. After completing the first loop of 3 grueling stages and returning to service, one question dominated every team's mind: tire choice.
En arrière, je pense, ben là, lui, on vient de sauver un stick. Ouais.
With surfaces shifting from ice and packed snow to softening gravel, crews had to weigh their options carefully. Should they stick with ice tires, tractionized snow tires, or take a gamble on soft or super soft gravel tires? In conditions like these, every decision could make or break a rally. While the drivers and co-drivers took a brief moment to rest and review their strategies for the next stages, the unsung heroes of the sport, the service crews, were already hard at work. Tire changes, mechanical checks and fine-tuning adjustments kept the cars performing at peak levels, ready for the relentless challenges that lay ahead. At Tall Pines, every second counts, and behind every podium contender is a team of dedicated professionals making sure nothing is left to chance. The battle resumed where it left off on Stage 4, Old Debt Law 2. The fierce fight among Ricardo Cordero, Simon Vansan and Jonathan Drake intensified, with the Subaru Impreza crew of Andrew Benson and Brandon Pace joining the mix. Benson, hailing from the United States, set the 4th fastest time, closely followed by Trevor Pugnet, Vincent Trudel, Olivier Martel and Sebastien Clark. It was Ricardo Cordero and Marco Hernandez, behind the wheel of their Citroën C3 Rally 2, who stole the headlines on this stage, seizing the overall lead with a slim but crucial 4-second advantage.
Engáñalo, lomo en derecha 5 corta, pero izquierda 7. No te pasas de lanza.
Meanwhile, Vansan Laland, who transitioned from motocross and motorcycle circuit racing into rallying, seemed to be mastering the art of four wheels on snow and ice. After strong performances in the first three stages, Lalanne's challenge came to a sudden halt. On the same narrow, icy, off-camber left-hander that had claimed Rougeant-Perron, he rolled his Peugeot, forcing an early retirement from the rally.
Se referme en 3 d'entre-côte. 70. Crest gauche 2 mi-long. Et droite 4.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Impossible.
Let's take a look at the scene from the in-car footage of Eric van der Waal, capturing the spot Lalande lost control.
Very good, very good. Keep in at right 4. Into left 4 short, over jump.
Elsewhere on the stage, the duo of Jeremy Drake and Derek Jackson rejoined the rally under Super Rally rules after their Stage 2 retirement. With overall classification out of reach, Jeremy focused purely on showcasing spectacular rally technique. But Stage 4 proved treacherous near the finish. He spun once again, reminding everyone that at Tall Pines, the line between brilliance and disaster is razor thin. At 19.8 kilometers, Birch Lake Trail, the longest stage of the rally, put every crew to the ultimate test. Fast corners, steep climbs, sudden descents, and long high-speed straights all combined with a slippery mix of snow and ice. Rising temperatures only added to the challenge, softening the surface and making tire choice and car control more critical than ever. Ricardo Cordero made a statement on Birch Lake Trail, extending his advantage by setting a time 27.8 seconds faster than Simon Vincent. The gap between the two leaders now stood at 31.9 seconds, giving Cordero a solid grip on the rally lead. But the battle behind him remained fierce. Jonathan Drake, Vincent Trudel, Andrew Benson, Olivier Martel and Samuel Joyal pushed relentlessly, hunting every second in a bid to close the gap and stay within striking distance of the leaders. Meanwhile, in the two-wheel drive category, the Nissan Sentra crew of Mathieu Royer and Alyssa Voiselle-Montminy made their mark. With an impressive performance on Stage 5, they set the fastest time in their class, proving that precision and determination can shine as brightly as outright speed.
Ensuite, flat, crest et gaucher. Milieu, flat, gaucher, 50, gauche 42 sur kick. Don't cut.
Let's take a short break from the battle for the win and the podium to see what was unfolding in the other categories and classifications. The Subaru Impreza crew of Samuel Johial and Eric Dube maintained a steady, controlled pace after starting the rally cautiously. Consistency and measured driving kept them competitive throughout the stages. In the Peugeot 208 Rally 4, Mikael Arsuno and Matt Bellison adopted a smart and strategic approach, waiting for their rivals to make mistakes. With consistent pace and careful driving, they gradually climbed into the upper positions, proving that patience can be just as effective as outright speed. Meanwhile, the Subaru Impreza crew of Karian Hubert and Marie-France Desmarais-Trepagnay were arguably the team with the fewest issues all weekend. Their only setback came when the 360-degree onboard camera mount broke and the camera got lost, costing them some footage for our broadcast. Sorry, Karian. We would have loved to share those onboard moments with our viewers. Driving a Ford Fiesta ST, Dan Gallipo and Sam Roxon chose a disciplined approach, avoiding unnecessary risks while maintaining a controlled rhythm. Their focus remained on protecting their podium chances and securing a strong overall result. Among the most experienced names in the rally was Jim Stevens, a true Tall Pines legend. Having competed in the very first Rally of the Tall Pines back in 1971, Stevens brought color and history to the event once again, navigating the stages in a Suzuki Swift alongside co-driver Tiago Lourenço. Returning to the rally after 7 years, Michael Ketchum and his Mazda 323 took a cautious approach, co-driven by the accomplished Rod Jones. Limited tire options prevented them from reaching their full pace, but their careful strategy allowed them to enjoy a steady, measured return to Tall Pines. At the Rally of the Tall Pines, the action wasn't limited to the top overall contenders. Across the regional rally scene, the battle for the Ontario Performance Rally Championship OPRC was equally intense. Driving a rear-wheel drive BMW 128, Jonathan Desgroseilliers and co-driver Audrey Godin thrilled spectators with the roar of their 3-litre inline-6 engine. The BMW's deep, captivating exhaust note echoed through the forest, delighting fans along the stages. In a Subaru Impreza, Jérémy Thibault and Justine Thibault steadily climbed the standings, their consistent pace and precise stage times keeping them firmly in contention. Veteran Jim Morton, one of the rally's sponsors and a familiar face in the OPRC, fought for a podium in his rally blue Subaru Impreza with American co-driver Zach Goldstein. Stage by stage, they pushed hard, gaining valuable positions and showing the experience that comes from years behind the wheel. For Alton Gonçalves, this rally marked only the second event of his career, but he faced it head-on. Piloting a freshly prepared Subaru Impreza alongside his father, Marc Gonçalves, the father and son duo focused on learning the ropes, completing stages, and gaining vital experience for the future. Eric Vanderwall and Pat Hooper, driving a Mazda RX-8, refused to lift off the throttle despite competing with a limited rally budget. Their times improved consistently on every stage, showcasing determination and skill, step by step. And in their classic Volkswagen Scirocco, Justin Zamet and Alicia Papanicolaou continued their campaign with one goal in mind: to finish the rally and fight for a strong podium position in the OPRC. Across every category, the Ontario Performance Rally Championship brought its own thrills, close battles, and unforgettable moments, proving that at Tall Pines, every driver has a story to tell. As the rally progressed, the competition grew even fiercer. On Stage 6, Iron Bridge, the pace soared to new heights. The legendary 7.9-kilometer Iron Bridge stage of the Rally of the Tall Pines tested every crew with its fast corners, tricky jumps, and icy patches. Times were incredibly close, and the top three in the stage classification, Ricardo Cordero, Sebastien Clark, and Jonathan Drake, posted the fastest times, further solidifying their positions at the front of the rally. Close behind, Simon Vanzan, Trevor Pugnet, Andrew Benson, and Olivier Martel delivered strong performances, keeping themselves in striking distance and ready to capitalize on any mistakes from the leading trio. But the drama on Iron Bridge reached another level. Jeremy Drake, continuing his spectacular driving and signature Scandinavian flicks, crossed the finish line with his Subaru literally on fire. Oil leaking from the steering pump had ignited a small blaze under the hood.
Fire! 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 Good fire.
Where's our other one there?
I need your
You want a fire extinguisher?
got one.
Thanks to co-driver Derek Jackson's quick and decisive intervention, the flames were extinguished before they could spread, but the crew was forced to retire from the rally on this stage. The chaos didn't stop there. Vincent Trudell and Michelle Miller, also in a Subaru Impreza, hit a bad jump on stage 6, crushing the front end and breaking the radiator. Their rally ended abruptly.
9 left, over small crest 30.
Michael Dymkowski and Simon Levak, encountering the same deceptive jump in their Subaru Impreza, broke a trailing arm, sending the rear wheel pointing outward. They limped sideways for 6 kilometers to reach the finish. Initially retired, the crew later rejoined under Super Rally rules, determined to continue despite the setback.
20, deck left 4, past crest, left 4, past crest, down, right 3.
Meanwhile, Crawford New and Patrick Heng, driving a Plymouth Neon, finally succumbed to the transmission issues they had been battling since the start. On Iron Bridge, the transmission fully locked, leaving them stranded and forcing their retirement from the rally. At the end of the second loop, we caught up with the drivers to hear their thoughts on the stages, the conditions, and how the competition had unfolded so far. Insights from the crews highlighted just how demanding Tall Pines had been, and how strategy, pace, and nerves were playing a crucial role in the rally standings.
Morning stages, very catchy. The place is tricky that you can get off, so we avoid that, and we're gonna bring that to the night stages.
Having fun and doing new stages in the snow, so we're having fun and happy in Canada.
Oh, it's going amazing out there. The roads, we're keeping it clean in the really slippery stuff and then going as fast as we can in the gravel.
I did a flat in the last stage, but this one we push a bit, so I think we'll lose a couple of spots, but it's okay.
It's a little icy in some spots, but as long as there's grip, it's fun.
We went real big on the jump in there, and yeah, no, just having a great time right now, fighting with Trevor for every second, you know. So great event.
It's going awesome, having a time of our life. This was a very cool stage. Yeah.
Yep, some of the jumps and the twistiness, it's a good time. Yeah, and it's also kind of tricky too, because there's some slippery patches and with the fans and everything, and all the fans out here, they're awesome.
Car's super, and we're just coping with the stages that's coming our way. This was brilliant to get onto a little bit of gravel. Pity we hadn't the gravel tires, but it's good morning, can't complain.
Roads are awesome. The last stage was nice and gravelly, full grip, so we were sending it. Got some good air.
How do you like the co-driver?
He's awesome. Doing a great job.
By the conclusion of Stage 6, the overall classification was starting to take shape, with the leading crews establishing their positions, but the battle was far from over. Stage 7 brought the crews back to the legendary Iron Bridge stage for the second time. Ricardo Cordero continued to assert his dominance, posting the fastest time and extending his overall lead by a decisive 10 seconds. Simon Van Saan and Jonathan Drake delivered nearly identical times once again, firmly securing their places in the top 3 of the overall classification. Hot on their heels, Trevor Pugnet, Sebastian Clark, Andrew Benson, and Olivier Martel kept the pressure high, ready to capitalize on any mistakes from the leaders. In the two-wheel drive category, Charles Lestage shone behind the wheel of his Ford Fiesta, setting the fastest time among the class and achieving an impressive 8th best time overall, a clear statement of his pace and potential. As the afternoon progressed, rising temperatures softened some of the stage surfaces, but the remaining patches of ice in shaded areas continued to challenge the crews. Precision, focus, and careful car control remained crucial as the rally approached its decisive stages. Stage 8, Middle Old Hastings, marked a dramatic shift in the rally. Faster than the opening 7 stages, it featured rolling hills, high-speed corners, and a challenging mix of gravel, mud, and ice, instantly raising the stakes and evoking the legendary stages of Rally Finland. This was a stage where bravery, precision, and setup mattered more than ever. Pace notes, tire choice, and suspension settings became absolutely critical, and the stage's characteristics allowed two-wheel drive cars to shine alongside the more powerful four-wheel drive machines. Ricardo Cordero once again set the fastest time, but his rivals were not far behind. Sebastian Clark, making the most of his powerful machine, posted the second fastest time. Jonathan Drake, Trevor Pugnet, and Olivier Martel followed closely, separated by mere fractions of a second, a testament to how tight the competition had become. For Simon Van Saan, the stage proved costly. Battling Ricardo's Citroën C3 up to this point, he suffered a broken axle shaft on Middle Old Hastings, losing significant time and finishing 7th on the stage. With his car now reduced to 3-wheel drive, Van Saan would have to tackle the remaining stages of the loop under a severe handicap.
Chris, stay inside jump, maybe. 40 gauche 4 with Chris, kick. Gauche 4 with Chris, kick, 80. Et un king droite slippy, maybe. King droite slippy, maybe. Qu'est-ce qui se passe? Ricardo? Oui. King droite 5 minus. Droite 5 minus short, icey 40. Droite 5 minus short, icey 40. Et un lift pour gauche 3. Lift pour.
In the two-wheel drive category, Charles Lestage impressed in his Ford Fiesta R2, setting the 6th fastest time on the stage, while Mathieu Royer followed closely, posting the 8th fastest time. Stage 9, Lower Old Hastings, stretching 14.6 kilometers, delivered high drama and decisive moments for the crews. Simon Van Saan, hampered by his broken axle shaft, lost crucial seconds, and the seconds that Ricardo Cordero was quick to capitalize on. Cordero set a time 40 seconds faster than Van Saan, further consolidating his overall lead. While the four-wheel drive crews fought at the front, the Braveheart duo returned to the spotlight. Charles Lestage and Juliette Lestage, behind the wheel of their two-wheel drive Ford Fiesta R2, stunned the crowd by posting the 2nd fastest time on Lower Old Hastings, proving that precision and bravery can compete with sheer power. Tragedy struck Trevor Pugnet and Ryan Rouleau, who had been running a smart pace and chasing podium ambitions. Shortly after passing our camera, their car went off and rolled, forcing them to retire from the rally. Fortunately, the crew was unharmed.
150, R4 over crest. 140. Oh.
I'm okay. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the in-car footage from Mark Tufanov at the point where the Subaru Impreza suffered heavy damage. The crew walked away safely, but the incident highlighted just how unforgiving these stages can be. The drama didn't end there. Andrew Benson and Brandon Pace, also in a Subaru Impreza, were forced to retire due to a blown radiator hose, overheating, and engine issues. The crew later rejoined under Super Rally rules, determined to continue despite the setback.
Oh, and the engine. Lost a radiator or something.
In-car footage from Olivier Martel shows the exact spot Benson and Pace pulled over, a stark reminder of the fine line between speed and disaster at Tall Pines. The final stage of the third loop, Egan Creek, stage 10, served as a dramatic closure to this leg of the rally. Spanning 18 kilometers, crews who started in daylight often found themselves finishing in complete darkness, navigating a high-speed stage with a slippery, ever-changing surface, but finishing with a few kilometers of tight, technical, narrow roads. Precision and nerves of steel were essential to survive the challenge. Ricardo Cordero seized the moment, setting a blistering time 1 full minute faster than a struggling Simon Van Zaan, further extending his commanding lead. Jonathan Drake, lying in wait and capitalizing on any mistakes from Cordero or Van Zaan, posted the second fastest time on Egan, cementing his position on the podium. For the regional competitors, Egan Creek Stage 10 also marked the conclusion of the Ontario Performance Rally Championship. For the others, Tall Pines was a challenge that they conquered. After stage 10, crews who had completed the third loop took their final service before heading out into the night stages and 2 loops covering 6 grueling stages that would test skill, endurance, and nerves. The leading duo, Cordero and Hernandez, focused on survival as much as speed. With a probable victory in sight, they pushed their car at a controlled, safer pace through the icy and slippery night stages, prioritizing consistency over risk.
Con lomo full recto, para derecha 5 corta, bota 50, lomo full recto salta 60, derecha 6 corta, para lomo full recto salta 60, lomo sobre izquierda 5 keeping.
Simon Van Zaan and Hubert Godreau, having repaired their Subaru Impreza GC8 at service, regained their rhythm under the cover of darkness. Despite their renewed pace, the time lost earlier in the rally proved impossible to recover. Jonathan Drake, competing in his 6th rally of the Tall Pines with co-driver Ian Lance, embraced the challenge of the night stages. The Tall Pines veteran set the fastest times on stage 11 and stage 12, showcasing experience and precision, but even his blistering pace could not force an error from Cordero. As temperatures dropped and the stages became once again slippery and partially icy, the final 6 night stages brought little change to the overall classification. Most crews, unwilling to take unnecessary risks, opted to maintain their positions, letting skill and strategy prevail over recklessness. The 2-wheel drive category remained fiercely contested. Charles Lestage, Mathieu Roya and Mikael Asurno had been trading times throughout the rally and continued their close battle through stage 14. However, stage 15 proved costly for the Nissan Sentra crew Mathieu Royer and Alyssa Voisel-Montminy, who went off the road and lost approximately 15 minutes. We can see the spot where they went off through Michael Dimkowski's in-car camera footage.
Left, very big jump. In 30, right 7, very big jump. Careful, car, careful. Left 9 after jump. Jump 20, left 5.
This misfortune reshuffled the two-wheel drive podium, allowing Dan Gallipo and Sam Roxon, competing in a Ford Fiesta ST, to claim third place in the classification, rounding out an eventful and dramatic night of rallying at Tall Pines. At the 2025 Novus Automotive Rally of the Tall Pines, crews tackled a total of 483 kilometers, including 170 kilometers of high-speed technical special stages across 16 challenging tests. In the end, it was the Mexican duo Ricardo Cordero and Marco Hernandez who claimed victory. Behind the wheel of a Citroën C3 Rally 2, Ricardo delivered an almost flawless performance, demonstrating skill, precision, and unwavering focus. At the finish, the duo was visibly elated, celebrating a well-earned triumph.
It was a really tough rally. I think it was one of the hardest that I've done because it's so hard to judge what type of tire to use. Snow, ice, gravel. It's incredible. I mean, it was so hard. The jumps are so high. The crests. I mean, I've never been to Finland, but I think we're close. So I just want to say to my Mexican friends, come over here. Tall Pines is a really cool rally.
The battle for the podium was fierce. Simon Vansan and Hubert Gaudreau fought hard for the win and ultimately secured second place. Their efforts not only kept them in contention for the Canadian Rally Championship, but also earned them the 2025 Eastern Canadian Rally Championship title, as Tall Pines served as the final round of that championship.
It was a great rally, lots of spectators. We had problems throughout the rally. We broke a half shaft in middle lacing, landing a jump, pushing, trying to get the lead. That's the way she goes. So yeah, we kept pushing and made it interesting, even though the conditions were really interesting, very challenging today.
Jonathan Drake and Ian Lance, running a fast and consistent pace from the start, leveraged their experience to bring their Subaru Impreza to the podium. Finishing just 4 seconds behind Vansan, they claimed third place in a performance defined by consistency, precision, and endurance.
No, that was an awesome day. Like, really tricky conditions, but really pumped. We were basically third all day, kept it very consistent, and even had our first national stage wins this event.
This is how the final standings look at the end of an unforgettable, the 2025 Novus Automotive Rally of the Tall Pines. The top crews celebrated their achievements at the Podium Ceremony held at the Dungannon Recreation Centre, raising their trophies and spraying champagne in true rally tradition.
So congratulations to our overall winners, the 2025 Novus Automotive Rally of the Tall Pines, sponsored by Novus Automotive, Kawartha Metals, ArcDroid, and Pirelli Tires. Your two-wheel drive champions at the Rally of the Tall Pines. So we want to thank our sponsors, of course, for the helping us with the event. Novus Automotive, Pirelli Tires, proud sponsors of all of the ECRC events, and these are your overall winners. your OPRC two-wheel drive overall champions.
With thrilling battles, unpredictable conditions, and moments of pure driving skill, the 2025 Rally of the Tall Pines once again showcased the excitement and intensity of Canadian rallying. We extend our heartfelt thanks to all the officials, volunteers, sponsors, and supporters whose efforts made this rally possible. And with that, another edition of the Rally of the Tall Pines comes to a close. We look forward to seeing you again in 2026. Until then, goodbye.